contracts and all
They
that.
don't-
They still have their.
They don't have a current
They don't
contract.
have any contracts.
It's just
No, the current contracts of their players. Like if IG
Oh,
wants to just drop
you
their
have to
team.
drop the player, like terminate all
Yeah.
the contracts and
Yeah.
get some new ones. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, IG is the son of one of the richest bands.
Wang Xikong.
Yeah, one of the richest bands in men in China, and I think Newbie also is like someone with a lot of money. So Newbie, for example, that's the team that maybe could say, okay, you won TA4, but without Xiao8, you kind of suck. You're all out. Let's bring a new team. Or 3 of you are out, 2 of you are out. So we'll see what happens with that. I think Big God is playing not only for this tournament, but also to see how well they stick together in the future and who can get the better deal.
Burning still wants to win a TI, I feel.
Do you think there's any chance of any team in the West being able to poach a Chinese player?
I don't think so personally.
Unless they could move.
Yeah.
They'd
I
have
think
to
that's the biggest issue.
relocate. I don't know if that'd be too possible.
We have to go into a draft now because the draft has started and it's actually going very fast. So we are 2 picks in. This happened in a minute, I would say. So I'm pretty surprised. But we do see Cloud9 getting the Chen and the Axe, taking a little bit of a page of the book of Secret.
Well, at least people are finally banning Wisp.
I'm surprised that the Lycan isn't seeing play at all. Burning not favoring the Lycan that much this tournament. He's played it, but not that often.
It's not been. I mean, he's played amazingly on every hero he's been on, but his main carries have been much stronger.
If you're talking about Lycan, I would say probably C9 has the higher chance of actually picking the hero compared to Big God.
Well, they have the Axe as well, so Big God, and also having the Medusa and the Lycan seems a little bit.
While Lycan I think is a good pick with the Axe and the Chen, I just feel like it's not a hero that Envy's gone into this match saying I want to be playing Lycan. I don't think it really suits him and his playstyle as much.
Right.
One thing interesting, look at the bans from C9.
Look at the bans from C9.
Alchemist.
No, it's the
Bat,
Bat
yeah.
Rider.
Oh yeah, that's
were-
actually surprising because they would want to get the Bad Rider
Yeah.
for their Bone 7, right?
So there must be a plan.
Well, Big God had first pick though. I think Big God first picked Bat Rider. Bat Rider's had like an absurdly high win rate considering.
What has Bone 7 played well this tournament?
Bat Rider.
Bad Rider.
Has it been just the Bat Rider?
His Clockwork had a really good game.
He had a good game.
Oh, he had a
with
really
Clock.
good start and then it tapered off.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But it didn't matter because with that good start, he carried like his team could carry into the end.
Yeah,
so.
but basically because Big God they are gonna pick Bat Rider for ROTK as well. It's just
You don't want to verse the Bat Rider.
The Isama Anti-Mage is banned. I
against
mean, that's pretty
Medusa.
good. Burn. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess this is a Bone 7 Axe though, so they've already got his hero at this stage, like right off the bat. A hero we haven't seen him play that much of, I want to say.
Fata plays really good Axe though.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a Bone 7, but
I'm half expecting a Nyx for Bone 7 to be honest. I don't know how great that's going to be off lane.
he
I mean,
has
where
played.
do you do that, do you
Mid.
feel?
Mid-axe is pretty legit, I have to say, and Fata's is not too shabby.
I'm
that's for
kind
sure.
of questioning Midax versus Medusa.
No, I
because
don't-
it's
Cannot.
pretty bad for us.
I don't think they'll do that because they usually have EE, like just based on the hero allocation on their positions. They will always have Envy most of the time on safe lane if other than Terror Blade or
Morphling,
Yeah.
can he do
Morphling,
it?
Well, we
yeah.
saw Bone 7 go mid one game as well.
that
So
was with the
that's-
Magnus game. Magnus.
Yeah, Magnus mid and then Fata was
So
bot lane.
Cloud9 is going for push
Are they
strat.
going to go for like their DK push strat once more? Like get a DK, then whatever MV series for the safe lane?
I mean, I have to tell you, looking at these 2 picks from Big God, the pushing lineup seems very tempting. Lion,
Yeah.
not a great deep pusher. Medusa, a hero that has a lot of trouble before the 30-minute mark, 25-minute
You
mark.
think
So.
you think they'll go for a draw to push or something else for C9?
I'm not sure if Drow is actually a good synergy hero.
what did they have
here.
last time for MV when they went for their push strat?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, yeah.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, but Juggernaut is
Yeah.
not in the pool now.
I think it's less about MV's here, and it's more if they want that Dragon Knight for Fata to go with the push. They may pick that up fourth, but
Luna. Dragonite plus
Yeah.
Luna.
Luna is good, yeah.
AA's already been picked up to at least have
Yeah,
some
that's going to be really good.
way of dealing with it. If you initiate in, you've got to be able to get the kills, and the Chen Mech plus Hand of God is going to be what
They're
prevents
go-
that.
They're gonna need a hero to build pipe as well. If they want to end the game against the AA, they need someone to build a pipe.
Not only that, I think the problem with the AA pick is that if Cloud9 somehow has slightly better lanes, they will be able to push before AA has the level 6.
Yeah.
And without the level 6, then suddenly AA is less threatening.
There's definitely a chance that they get all the 3 tier 1 towers without AA being level 6 if they have a good start. There's a chance.
That's
So-
true. AA would not be getting any farm early because typically LAN-M gets a really quick
so
blink dagger online.
the push is real.
That's pretty scary. But this has a time limit, obviously.
Well, I mean, if you look at Axe is a pretty decent hero late game, because
Yeah, but you're going against Medusa.
Yeah, Dusa, it's like you.
Like we're talking
Like it
like
at least has
45 minutes
Necro
plus.
books for mana burn, but
That's that's a good point. That's going to be.
you've
really
got
helpful.
some mana burn there. It's still not ideal. Chen falls off. Shadow Shaman's got a lot of good disables, but
Neya Teya.
I wonder if Big God
How
would pick
about
like a.
how about Centaur for Cloud9? It's really good against Medusa's ult if they find themselves in terrible
But
position.
generally, with this sort of draft, you want to have Puck, and Feta plays Puck very well. So
Mhm.
yeah, but Centaur could be a very good substitute as well, just because of the Stampede
Mm-hmm.
against the Medusa.
Are we completely discarding the DK here?
I don't think so, but
It depends on who plays Axe, really, at the end of the day, right?
Ox.
Yeah, they can definitely switch things up. I would say both of the heroes would fit their draft, and depending on how they want to play it. Like Dragonite would mean, for me, the issue with Dragonite is like your lanes might not go well.
Okay,
That's the issue.
I'll pop this question into your head, and it's a stupid question, I know, but please bear with me. If Tusa is going mid, which is a possibility, Leshrac fares pretty decent against Tusa, just because any range hero does pretty well against Tusa. And it's a hero that with a little bit of farm can kind of snowball and push. It's very, very unseen in the metagame. But
How about Pugna instead of Lesh?
I mean I could see either of those two.
How about
Pugna
Death
would
Prophet?
be really good. We're
Death
talking about for
Prophet-
Pugna would actually be amazing.
Yeah,
in
it's
this
good
game.
against
Yeah, that's
Lions.
really
good
good.
Yeah.
But
I think the one weakness with those like Death Prophet, Leshrac, Pugna type heroes is like I think there's gonna be something like an ROTK Clockwork, which initiates him with a hookshot, Ice Blast. Those heroes are so
Yeah,
squishy, easy kills. That's why you want a DK. Because
right.
if you, I think Big God are probably picking Clock here. I don't know what else they get for ROTK. There's no Tide or Batrider.
yeah, Clockwork will
Clock
probably.
works so well with the AA. It's not a. Rocket Flare is not great anti-push, but it's more about the initiation. So
How about can I pick a Wind Runner?
I think
it's a clock. That's good. Yeah.
it's not an I thought of that too, and I'm like, it's not really an RTK hero, and they still lack that initiation because Lion's not getting a blink
It
to
works
do with the
very
push.
well with Medusa because of how tanky Medusa is,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork can just come in the middle of the fight when you're focusing, like especially X jumps in, gets a call off.
Yeah.
You want the rest of the heroes to do damage. So Clockwork is the perfect position 3 hero which stops the fight right away with the cogs against the Lycan. So
And Clock could even potentially just stand next to Medusa, pop cogs, trapping Medusa, and like what's
that
Lycan and Axe
would
going?
be actually cool.
What's Lycan and Axe gonna do? Like
Yeah.
you can't
Blink
go
dagger
through the
Clockwork.
Blink Tiger Clockwork. Yeah.
And this is where I think like the Lesh and the Pugna in theory are better heroes for the Cloud9 draft, just not with the Clockwork in the picture, maybe.
Yeah, I would agree to that. It's Clockwork basically means those heroes are gonna be very, very easy food for a hook shot and an ice blast, just easy kill.
Is there anything else like apart from like a DK type hero that they get? I mean, like a Fata
Jud-
plays Veno.
Judging, I was gonna say, judging by the lanes, if it's gonna be a Fata hero, it's gonna be Veno or Zeus. But Zeus,
Yeah.
I'm not very sure.
You think Veno's good this game?
Yeah, Veno
It's
could.
not that strong.
It works with their heroes, though. That's the issue. It's a
Buy
lot
the
of
pipe.
yeah, it's a lot of synergy, and he can buy the pipe. That's
Yeah.
basically the important thing against A and Lion. You want to have someone that can actually get that item, and he doesn't just waste the item because Veno is standing up front. Pipe makes him a lot more tankier, so you waste more time. You have to waste more time to actually kill the Veno, which is very good for the team.
Speaking of pipe builders, could Cloud9 go for a Fada Bristleback here? He's not your traditional push hero, but he's the kind of like the same way
Frontliner.
Patch is a push hero.
He's a frontliner and he gives you late game, basically.
Right, yeah.
Gives you
Bristle's pretty good.
another source of security when the game goes longer.
The problem is that you have 3 melee cores. which
Yeah,
is
I still
less
think
than
Bristol, Lycan, Axe, if you go into a 60-minute game against a Dusa, you're going to regret it.
ideal. Yeah.
Razor gets banned out, which
Good against Medusa, probably, and fits your lineup as a frontline
God, that's
pushing
just
hero.
a push hero we've completely forgotten about.
Yeah,
like
that is true.
TI4
I-
every single
I
game.
personally hate watching
Yeah,
Razor games.
I've in the noob stream. That's all I talked about is how I hated Razor.
I don't mind Death Prophet because Death Prophet at least has like cool ghosts flying around and stuff. But
Right.
Razor, it's just like, here we go. There's
He-
this
he-
little lightning
he-
chain stealing your
He
damage.
takes his strong, starts sucking up your
I
damage.
think this game, after looking at the final bans and stuff, it feels like Venomancer could actually be the one thing that Cloud9 wants to have right now. Fits their draft, and
And Fada is very good at that.
yeah, he's very good at positioning and knowing when he can actually deal the most damage with his spells with that hero. I mean, it's a very good synergy with what they have.
Wow, the Fire Invoker. We forgot about that hero because
EMP.
yeah, he hasn't played it
really good.
much
Good against
recently.
Dusa. I would want to say that even Exort Invoker would be a good option here with the Forge, and obviously the Sunstrike X can get easy kills on the map. So
What do you think is better though?
both has their merits. I can't really say which is better.
I mean, they have good
I
setup
would-
with Axe into EMP.
I would almost always say like Exor Invoker and a push trap for the Forward Spirit's Necrobook,
Yes.
but I feel like this is maybe the one exception because of the Medusa. They're going to be prevented from pushing by a frontline Medusa
just
with Mana Shield. If you
look-
burn the Mana Shield, Medusa has to
Look at
back
that.
off.
They have Bristol as well. Bristol is also another hero that works very well with mana. So Quasvex Invoker could actually be something that they want to go for right now. Like he would just basically make the Bristol back half useless in a fight if he doesn't have mana.
I really like Cloud9's draft. I think it's
Bone
very
7
clever.
off lane Invoker Quasvex.
Ooh.
I've seen this movie before.
Oh boy.
Unless
Ooh.
Fata's swapping lanes, which we saw happen once when Bone 7 went mid on Magnus.
Yeah, but he always plays Quasvex Invoker, and yeah, I've not seen him go for the Exalt, so probably means it's a Quasvex Invoker. And Feta is on the X, might actually mean that they're actually swapping lanes as well. So
This is going to be a very interesting match.
probably mid lane Invoker by Bone 7, Quasvex, off lane X, safe lane Lycan.
5 seconds. 5
Gods?
seconds remaining.
Who has the better lineup?
Ooh, I mean, C9 have the better early game lineup. Big God have the better late game lineup in a lot of ways. I feel, but
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think that I don't think either one has a better lineup. I think they each peak at different times, and it's going to come down to the execution here. And
Okay. Who has it easier execution?
Cloud, I think always these kind of death ball type early game pushes. There's much in the past there was a lot of room for error because you'd get a big gold lead. Nowadays there's less room for error.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
in some ways, I think ease of execution may be on Big God's side because of how unforgiving push strats are nowadays. One bad push where you lose a few heroes, you can lose the game off of.
Okay, great. Sounds fun. You get the final words.
I don't know. I mean, you guys bring up really good points. I think Cloud9, it's all about Axe. If he gets off to a good start, that's going to catapult them into a good position to take this out in the game.
Okay, please don't fight. They're going to fight quickly, so we're going to throw away to our caster. It's going to be LD syndereN. Guys, good luck. Takes us away. This is hard. Take us away, please.
30
Well,
seconds.
Send,
Please save us.
the analyst panel, they didn't think about the Invoker. They hadn't thought of it. We knew about it early. We called it second pick.
Yeah.
That's how good we are.
You are just amazing. You shouldn't give me credit for it. It was actually your call. So, but thanks
now,
for...
now it
thanks for
appears
pointing-
it's actually a Bone 7 Invoker, which
we
is
did not solve that.
not something we call. But on a more serious note here, we can go ahead and introduce our lineups as we see Big God getting aggressive. So we begin with Cloud9. On the dire side, it's Misery going to be playing the Shadow Shaman. Big Daddy Notel on one of his signature heroes, the Chen. Fada on the Axe. They're going for some D wards here. In the mid lane, there is a Lycan for Eternal Envy. And then off lane, the unexpected matchup. It's Bone 7 on the Invoker. And as for the Radiant side, Big God already doing some dewarding, although Lanham not rolling the dice very effectively here on those uphill misses. He'll be playing the Lion and Misery with a nice deny. We've got Burning going mid as the Dusa, and safe lane, Shao 8 on the Bristleback. It leaves Ice supporting him on the Ancient Apparition, how appropriate, and ROTK as your offlane clock. So some really interesting dewarding mind games going on here in the dire jungle early on. As you can see, they dropped a sentry, but it's actually on the high ground, and they did. This is like a next level ward, because if you drop that ward on the high ground, you have to have a hero who gives you vision, else you can't deward it. But they didn't drop it, but Cloud9 thought they did, and they kind of pull a fast one on them.
Yeah, this is a really good start for Big God. I think, you know, it's very early to call it, but it's one of the things we have criticized Cloud9's drafts for or lanes for in past games, is that they try to be too next level. Would you say that's another one of those games where this offlane Invoker is going to turn out to be really weak? Do you think Lycan gets enough out of mid against Dusa? And what about the top lane? You're playing a melee core against Clock. That's generally not the ideal, although it is the best melee core in a melee matchup.
Yeah, someone who could take that 1v1 fight. I think I go back to your first point, Sind, of the offlane Invoker. How much is he going to get? This used to be fairly popular. Back at like the TI2 days, we saw a lot of 1v1s in the offlane, and so you could get away with the Quasvex Invoker. Also, he was stronger back then. A lot stronger. Several of his core items got nerfed repeatedly. The drums got nerfed, the EMP Tornado cooldown got nerfed, and since then he's kind of fallen off a bit. But Bone 7's going to make the best of a bad situation here. He'll be stacking while Lanham and Ice look to secure the rune. Can they adjust? Like, let's say Bone 7 gets shut down. Is there a move they can make to get him back in the game?
Yes, but then Axe needs a blink. That's also what Sunsfan was talking about. They need this Axe to get off to a good start, especially when they lane like this. If Axe doesn't catapult them into the game, as he put it, then I feel like the mid game is looking grim. You pick the Invoker. It's pretty obvious that it's with the first point in Wex, the idea here is for him to get high levels on Quas Wex and then mana burn all of the Medusa's mana. It's also really great against Bristleback. Both of them will be running toward the front lines, and if they lose their entire mana pools, they're really weak. But apart from that, so let's say Invoker has a bad game and doesn't get high levels of Wex, then what else do you really have to counter the Dusa? You have a Lycan who hits hard, but he can't fight into Stone Gaze. And then you have the Lycan going Necrobook, probably, which was, I would assume, part of the reason why they picked the Lycan. That one also gets Stone Gazed. So I don't really know if they can deal with this Dusa without Invoker.
And then the next line of thought as well, maybe they can rat with, if the Invoker goes back for Necrobook later on, they have the Lycan, Shaman can drop wards at towers and run away. And the Chen obviously has become a much better split pushing hero. But the issue there, you're up against Clockwork, Ancient Apparition, Lion. Great heroes to punish split pushers. So it does feel like if the Axe doesn't get something going, they're going to be in trouble. At long last, they will deward this Observer. C9 looking to get control of their polls, but it's after 3 minutes, so they'll miss another spawn opportunity. Now they're smoking.
Oh, wow.
And heading towards mid. And Bone 7 is just sitting here with EMP. I guess if they get the initiation, it could be a kill opportunity, but this is the level 2 roaming Invoker, not your everyday ganker. And now he's going back bottom.
He has EMP only. That's pretty much the worst ganking spell in the game for Invokers ever.
I guess you have Shackles, Net, you can probably get it off.
It's true, they can set it up. Yeah, so what made me say wow is that Fata went for a bottle. So that means okay, mid lane.
Birding caught out. Is the B-God going down first for Big God? He is. C9. They deward that big camp, and then they go immediately for the smoke. I think maybe something Big God weren't expecting. You see the camp dewards, like, okay, they're going to focus on their economy. Right away, Cloud9 gank.
Did he get caught without mana shield on, or did it just burn through it?
I think it was pretty low on the mana.
Okay.
But he might have had it off. So even if he had it on, I'm not sure it would have mattered.
That's a really, really important gank for C9. They get their Chen, they're level 4 now. Shadow Shaman gets level 3. They open... I don't want to say this opens up the Radiant Jungle, because they kind of could have gone in there anyway, but it allows them to focus more on bot lane. Now I think Eternal Envy in the mid lane, he's already got a lead against Burning. He's probably going to extend it this way, and they can start putting some pressure on the safe lane Bristleback, or maybe even better, find a couple of kills in the supports and keep them low. This is a good start for Cloud9. A thing I had, actually most importantly, Bone 7 gets to lane. That's maybe the primary reason behind this rotation is to get him in a position in this game.
And to be honest, these Big God supports, they're very good at zoning out an offlaner, but they're a bit weak against the Chen. They don't have a great way to deal with the creeps. Lion can stun them or throw out a Hex, but then he just has to run. It's not like you have a Crystal Main or Witch Doctor, which can keep them in place, do a lot of damage, maybe even kill them. And the supports for Big God are very level dependent, so this move has, like you said, I think completely changed the way the laning stage will develop from here.
Lanham. He is going to be okay. He's actually going to go on the offensive here together with Xiao 8. I don't think they catch up, though.
Well, they might massacre a couple of creeps. They'll impale one, even using the Chilling Touch. The Chen army dead. He does have his camp to work with now back in his own woods.
But they paid the Clockwork.
That's true.
Axe got a solo kill. This is pretty big. So when Fata got the bottle, the main concern is, okay, if he goes for the bottle build and he doesn't find a kill or get really, really good farm, the blink timing might be a little bit off. But with this kill, and maybe getting the 6-minute rune now as well, he's looking to dominate that top lane. Yeah, and it doesn't look like he goes to Vanguard. I would disagree with that in this case, going for Vanguard, for sure.
He is their only tempo controller. The Quaswex Invoker later on could become that hero, but he's level 3 in the offlane. He has no items, 10 CS, he needs more time. So yeah, I would agree. I think the Blink Dagger first is a necessity here. As for BG, they are farming really well in Xiao 8 in the safe lane, up to 38 CS. He's gone for the Quelling Blade, and now has the treads complete. RTK and Fata gonna exchange blows here, but they're farming reasonably well in Dusa despite the first blood, and they're farming well in their Bristleback. At end of the day, they are a very good turtle lineup, so it's a good start for Cloud9, but they'll want more than this. They'll want to try and sneak a Roshan if they can, set up some kills with the Axe. They still have a lot of work to get done in the mid game.
And speaking of turtle, this completely shows what the game plan is for Big God. RTK maxing Rocket Flare, it's It's something that used to be the common build in the past, but lately we've been seeing almost exclusively Battery Assault maxed out for the chance to solo kill supports, maybe even challenge the guy you're laning against, but his solo kill potential with this build is so much lower, but he has global D-push, which should not be underestimated. It's very clear that Big God already, from the draft and especially from how the super early game went, they're playing for mid-late. So having 4 levels in Rocket Flare fairly soon would put him in a good position.
Top lane, there's going to be a jump here on
range.
RTK, but they can't really follow it up. You know, the interesting thing, Sin, is I've seen RTK go this build, even in games where you would think Battery Assault is the way to go. Part of it to me is, I feel like he would go it anyway, but in the context of their draft, it definitely fits with a turtling style.
It's surprising, though. He is a very aggressive player.
It is.
So.
He almost always maxes Rocket Flare. I haven't seen his clockwork recently. Maybe that's changed, but I would say over the past couple of years, like 80-90% of the clockwork games he's played have been with the Rocket Flare first, and that clockwork up pesky here on the off lane, but he gets jumped by the net. Now the Chen creep, or rather the Axe being hexed, but still RTK in a lot of trouble here. He gets brought down by Test of Faith. Lanham could be next. They get off the call. The chop is ready. They get the 2 kills. Now Xiaowei, does he turn this one, or does he too end up falling? He's getting close to the threshold. Vada trying to finish him up. The creeps are blocking away. They zap him down, and Misery ends up surviving on a sliver of HP. 1 by 1, they enter the meat grinder. Now Bone 7 finding a 4th kill here off in the bottom lane. Oh, from bad to worse, as the score now gets incredibly out of hand, 0-6, and Medusa can't do anything. She just sits there mid and farms. They're expecting the rest of the team to be able to hold the line, but Burning gives up the kill early, and now C9, the map control going the way. They have the Axe Blink, they have the Medallion on the Lycan. They could start taking this mid and bottom tower soon, and then the way to Roshan might lie open.
This is an extremely rich Axe. What's his net worth look like? I'm apparently on other hotkeys in this than what I'm used to, so there we go. 4.7k gold.
Already. Are they going for Rosh now?
I've seen.
It looks like they might be. Cloud9 heading bottom. They've got a double damage run on Eternal Envy, and there's no Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. There's a Clockwork Hookshot, but who else walks into the pit? I don't even think BG can contest this Sind.
No.
Even if they knew right now, there's just no way.
Or actually, maybe, because they know Hand of God is on cooldown and their Clockwork is level 7, so he could go in.
Is that a level 2 Lion?
Level 3. He's level 2 on my screen, too. Now he's level 3.
Okay. Jeez.
You didn't have a graphic glitch there.
That's brutal. And already, speaking of levels, Eternal Envy, a level per minute. He's now level 9, 1,200 gold in the bank. The makings of the Vlad's out there if he wants it. This game just got very hard for BG.
Yeah, we talked about how Cloud9 needed some really good execution early on. They got it. It's very early to call it, but I want to say this is already their game to lose now. They're 5,000 or 6,000 gold ahead this early on is very, very big lead. They have the tools they need to push with. Shadow Shaman is already level 6. Lycan, as you said, level 9, and they have Hand of God ready again very soon. Invoker is also making his comeback. It's like the whole strategy just came together in the last 5 minutes.
Those Chen movements, you go back, he de-wards the camp, and then he immediately smoke ganks. That is not what you expect. Because that ward's not a ward that really gives you vision in the jungle. It's in a completely weird place, where it'll see like a tiny bit, I believe, near the tier 2. But anyway, C9 dropping the ward's bottom, the siege beginning in earnest, and Rocket Flare won't really be enough D-push. They'll lose 1 Chen creep, but the ward's going to continue to pound away, and with this tier 1 falling bottom, the map gets very claustrophobic for BG. And as good as they are eternally, until they get the Lion Blink, until they get the level 6 on Ancient Apparition, their killing potential is virtually non-existent. So C9 can pretty much walk around their jungle doing whatever they want.
Yeah, they have to get this jungle back. If they give up control of their jungle at minute 10, then it's starting to look really grim. This is the situation we've seen a lot from Team Secret when they run the Brood offlane, that they just take over, they get that tower, and then they start taking over the jungle with Brood. For Cloud9, it's not a Brood doing it, it's 2 or 3 of their heroes just farming in the enemy jungle. And that means every single minute BG will be falling further and further behind unless they can farm the enemy jungle or get their own jungle back. And their chance of getting into their own jungle right now seems... It's a pretty low chance. They have a level 3 Lion, a level 5 AA, so no big ultimates ready yet.
Uh-oh, they're in trouble. Eternal Envy morphing, and now they're going to go into Burning here. He gets off the Stone Gaze, engaging into Bone 7, turning towards Big Daddy No-Tail, and will manage to turn him to stone, but where's the follow-up? There's absolutely nothing. He casually throws out a Penitence, then walks away. Xiaowei joins the fray, but then everybody just backs off. They can just go farm the enemy woods, they can farm top. They don't need to take this fight, and BG, I don't really feel they can punish it. They're moving like they want to try and take a fight. Maybe looking for a Clockwork Hookshot. He does hook in, but the Wolf body blocks the hook. Misery, the one they were tracking. They had that ward, they had vision of him, but that wolf positioning, just too good.
Very nice play from Eternal Envy to keep them in the line. Not only scout out, but also block. And ultimately, they end up getting away. They force a Stone Gaze and they lost nothing. Or, well, they use Shapeshift. So I guess that's... Would you call that an even trade?
Shapeshift, Shapeshift. What's it matter?
Okay.
Yeah, it's you're forcing out some abilities on each team, but I feel like the difference is C9 can just keep on farming out, whereas BG still are in the passive position.
And it's going to take them a while to get back in this.
You know, it's like an even trade is often a good trade for the team that's behind, but that's a non-trade, right? There's no actual gold or experience changing hands, and now they just deathball mid.
Yep, no hook shot. RTK is back in base, refilling his mana. He doesn't even have a TP. AA ultimate is going to... Okay, that was just a little bit of lag. Landing pretty well.
Ice Blast coming out. On paper, they're great at stopping the push with enough levels, and if C9 aren't too far ahead, but if C9 want, maybe they even look towards the... They've got the mech about complete on Big Daddy No-Tail. It would be a pretty good pipe game if they want to pick one up. I think the panel mentioned that during the draft, so...
Yes.
I don't know if we'll see it right away for C9, but something they could consider a bit later on when they feel confident in their position and look to actually break the base.
And Axe is just such a good natural pipe carrier. Wow.
Pipe counter.
Pipe courier. Yeah, he's a good pipe carrier. He has a lot of physical armor already when he uses the Berserker's Call, the magic resist against the PG lineup, and then it's going to take them a long time to bring him down. And if they start focusing him after he uses Call, first of all, it's bad targeting, and secondly, he can get sent home. And there's a lot of abilities to break up the fight. They have Hex, Shackles, especially Tornado EMP can just zone the enemy team out, so I would say Pipe on X now would be a great choice. He's flying out the Courier currently. He's going Aghanimus, so Ogre Club into Point Booster, I think.
Yeah, could be a BKB, I suppose. Does he have the point booster yet?
No, it's at the secret shop though. Oh, I just gave the item to Nodell. Yeah, it might just be BKB, which is another good choice. It puts more emphasis on himself and a little bit less on the team, but then again, when he's in BKB, he can't get hexed.
There's only the Stone Gaze.
There's like no damage actually.
And the cogs, I guess, just to keep him away.
And Bristleback, but that takes a long time.
And now C9, Misery has the money for a Blink Dagger if he wants to pick it up. They have good aggressive wards, as we could see. One lane ward mid, one on the Radiant Hill burning. Maybe going to get jumped here. They've got the EMP Tornado. Tornado thrown out. EMP coming through. Cold Snap there. He's out of mana, and he's going to get chopped by Fada. Simple. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's engagement here as Shawit gets chased out by Eternal Envy. That's your Bristleback. If he can be run down by the Lycan, that's a real big concern. Eternal Envy diving. He will back off, juking away from that line stun. And they'll try to deal with these wards, but even so, they're doing a decent amount of chip damage here. And they're pushing top as well. Cloud9 pressure in multiple areas of the map, and BG having to commit 4 just to defend against 3 right now.
And the kills on the Dusa is they're the biggest concern for Big God, is that hookshot. Wow, that totally whiffed. I think he should be happy with that. They probably would have lost that fight.
I don't know if he wants to go in on that, to be honest.
No. It's the kills on Dusa, though, really buy Cloud9 even more time. So it's not just about killing off the carry in the usual sense, but it's BG are ultimately, I don't want to say they're playing a 4 protect 1 because they have a Bristle, but his role in the game is kind of protect. So if the carry they're fighting so hard to protect doesn't have anything, then the push is just going to be so much easier. And Cloud9, they're buying more and more time for that push. The timing window is stretching. It maybe before the game going into it, we would say you should look to push the base at 20 to 25 minutes. Now they can maybe get away with it at 35 minutes, and they can get an extra Roche, maybe an extra 5,000 gold, and then make it a lot easier.
It's not that BG can't come back, it's just they don't really have much control over...
And they don't have a kill at 16 minutes.
Yeah, that's mentally not good. Now, this is a team of veteran players outside of Ice, so none of them should feel... If any team were going to be not tilted, it's probably BG on the short list of teams. That would be, okay, we're down, but we know our game plan. We just need to buckle down, play defensively, wait for C9 mistakes. My big concern, though, is they have very limited ability to force a mistake. Lion nowhere near a Blink Dagger, not even level 6 yet, it seems. Yeah, still only level 5 at 16 minutes. So it comes down to a hookshot into Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, and that hero has to be alone, or they get sent back. Potentially the Axe counter-initiates and turns the fight. They are very reliant on C9 mistakes, not particularly adept at forcing them at this stage. It's not a good position.
And there's the BKB. Man, Fata is so farmed. This is crazy.
It's a big axe.
There's the smoke. They're going to use the BKB immediately to initiate, probably. as Roshan still has a while to spawn. We'll know the spawn time in 40 seconds, but
and you can
they're
see
out for burning again.
The Lycan Wolves. Oh, they're looking for the Ancients right now. They might get that jump. Does C9 have vision? Yes, I believe they do have a ward. And they're going to jump in now. Getting the call, the Tornado coming out. They now try to engage on him. EMP going to be used and burning. Drops low, will end up getting chopped down. A nice Impale coming out, but is it going to be sufficient? Bristleback getting the one counter kill on the Shaman, but they lost their Deuce, and at the same time they lose RTK bottom. EE starting to find more space. They now steal the Ancient stack, and it was a couple of the big creeps still remaining, worming their way through these wards. Well, only the Invoker. The creeps, let me in, let me out, let me out.
Little bit of a mistake there from Cloud9. That should have been a clean 1-0, the kill there. But the Tornado effectively bought BG more time than it did Cloud9. They were initiating with the Blink Hex into Shackles. Should have just dropped the MP and just hit him, and they would have got the kill easily. But end of the day, they lose a Shadow Shaman for Dusa. It's not the worst trade in the world. They did expend the Mass Serpent wards, though, so there's going to be a little bit of time before Cloud9 will want to siege again. Roshan, fairly long respawn. A little unfortunate for Cloud9 to still... At this point, it's not about the RNG factors anymore. They have such a comfortable lead that they can get unlucky in a couple of instances and still be perfectly fine with the lead they have.
In fact, probably the worst thing they can do is to try to force it too much too early. Yeah. Because BG are still very good defensively. They can block a few heroes out with the cogs. You get caught in Stone Gaze, Ice Blast. In some order, you can be in a lot of trouble. And they do have the line figure now, but BG still, you could see just their movement patterns. They tend to be clumped up 4 or 5 within a very small region of the map, while C9 are the ones able to spread out. They're leaving the Lycan bottom. They fan out the X to the top lane, as we just see now. The Invoker just kind of moving, and Chen pushing out mid. So 3-4 heroes constantly squeezing as much value out of the map as they can. And now they go in for a Blink Call. Burning could be caught out once again. They double TP comes through. EMP Tornado. Tornado not going to connect. Now they Stone Gaze. Slowing down Fada. He'll try to TP out. Burning wants to get in front of him and turn up the Stone, and he will. This could be a very big kill. That's a 500 gold bounty. It goes to the Bristle. And on top of that, a bit more in terms of assist gold. That has to be a major swing of momentum. The tower now going to be denied. Almost 2,000 gold swung their way.
It's insane to think about. The kill itself is worth 500. And they get 2,000 from it. Or they got 1,700, and Fata lost 400 there.
Yes.
From the death. So
ridiculously.
At this point, the rubber band effect is going to give them... So that was a streak kill. But every single solo kill they get is about 1,000 gold. So if, at least, maybe even more, 1,500. So if Cloud9 make a couple of mistakes like that, they could be throwing away their lead fairly quickly. Let's say the score gets up to 7-9 or something like that. Then they're within 5k reach, and all of a sudden the lead doesn't look so scary anymore.
You know, the other thing that would be really big for BG, although I'm not sure if they can fit it in yet, and I'm curious about your thoughts on this, is a gem. They're up against the Lycan. Their jungle has been warded pretty heavily. Maybe they don't get it yet, but I feel like it is a crucial component of mounting a comeback here. It's the main issue, I guess, is who's going to be the one to carry it for them, or to buy it, for that matter.
Yeah. They could put it on the Bristle. I think he is tanky enough at this point that, first of all, Cloud9 don't want to focus him, and if they do, they can probably bail him out with like a hookshot into Cogs. Maybe Clockwork needs to sacrifice himself, but that's still worth it to save the gem. As this Roche number 2. Cloud9 did not use the first Aegis. They might plan on using this one.
They didn't deny the Aegis either. They're off to a good start.
Oh, burning. He needs to be really careful with this play. He knows they just did Roche. This is actually fairly cocky, but of course, it's that ward. It's the ward. If they were smoked, he would, or if they didn't walk through the ward, he would definitely not do this. So, as a matter of fact, a pretty safe play after all with that ward. And now he's going to rotate top as it starts getting scary again.
They're not that far out of it, to be honest. Their supporting cast is very poor, though. The H Apparition, the Lion, the Clockwork, but the cores are pretty close. Do you think you still go for like an H Apparition Midas here, try and squeeze one in, or is that too much?
I'm a little bit torn, because I think if he goes greedy and tries to get an axe and gets away with it, that could win the game. But then for that to happen, they need to win 1 or 2 good teamfights first, because else he's never finding the gold. I think the Midas build-up is too slow, just hands down. It's going to take him way too long.
So just go, if you go anything, it's straight axe. Probably.
It's straight axe or Force Staff, because against this Cloud9 lineup, the absolutely most important thing is to be able to disengage and reset. if your ally gets caught by shackles, as long as he's turned around or even hexed, you can somewhat reset and try to re-engage. It's another way for them to chase if they get ahead in the fight. That's also important. That's another thing their lineup is actually fairly weak at. Clockwork has the hook shot, then he can't chase any further realistically, unless he gets a Force Staff, which it looks like he will. You've got the Bristleback. He's pretty fast, but then he's chasing alone, right? Lion is not getting a blink yet. AA can't follow through. Medusa is pretty slow as a hero too. So for me, it's between Axe and Force. I mean, with that reasoning, you just get the Staff of Wizardry first, right?
Yeah, I guess you're a bit squishier that way, but C9 looking to take wrest control of this hill away from BG. Looks like they'll be successful.
That's the first item for burning.
He does get the Manta out, not going for the Lincoln Sphere buildup we sometimes see. Not really much the Lincolns would help you with this game. You're still going to get hit by the EMP, the Berserker's Call. Yeah, you could block that initial Hex or Cold Snap, but he goes for a better farming item. And something he could split push with, draw the lanes back a bit. Seems like a nice choice. C9 going to take this tower down bottom. There's only one outer tower remaining for BG. And
oh, this is the siege. Okay, I thought they might wait a little bit longer, but...
Now, Xiao 8 has BKB, but there is a lot of physical damage that he has to worry about. They try to go for the ward trap, it seems. Xiao 8 able to dodge that. The wards will be quickly cleaned up. That may stop the push in its tracks, actually. As the Medusa...
Good Tornado EMP!
Well, gonna lose most of her mana here, has the stick charges, but probably needs to walk back to the well, which means, I do get that high ground position in the end. They'll probably bring this tower down.
There's no glyph.
Radiant Glyph not available. Lanham trying to hold the line. No Blink Dagger yet. Ice Blast is coming in. He gets the Impale. Now the hook shot onto Eternal Envy. They want to burst him quickly and keep him away from the team. It looks like he should be shattering here. The Aegis now pop. Xiao 8 being engaged upon, but has the BKB. Very tanky. Not an easy target. He immediately going to try and morph, but he might end up getting... Oh, he gets impaled. He's going to go down a second time. What a disaster for C9. Now the chase is on. Bone 7 getting mauled by this Bristleback. The chase forward. Fada trying to back off, but they just don't have a whole lot of damage without that. Lycan continue to chase, nice net. They just want to get out safely, cut their losses. They've lost the Aegis. They've lost a lot of momentum here. And they will end up losing most of the Chen army too.
And they held the tower.
Very impressive.
9 HP.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
held
really
the tower.
Matter.
But big thing there, they take away the Aegis. C9 now may feel like they have to wait for the next Roche to try and break the base again, which gives Burning a lot of time on his Medusa, if that's the case.
On the other hand, though, you could say, considering how that fight went down, the fact that they only lose the Lycan, I think, can be considered a success, because that initiation was not ideal. The Tornado EMP from Bone 7 was really good and was the only reason they kind of got put in that position. He caught both the Bristle and the Deucer. They had to go back and refill mana, and it bought them a 10-second period of time to just go in with a Necro Book, have the wards focus the tower, and almost get it. So, bad and good for Cloud9 at the same time. I don't think we're reaching extremely dangerous territory for them by any means. They can wait for the next Roche.
This is not a comeback yet.
No, not at all.
It could be the makings of a comeback.
Yeah, Deuce is going to be getting somewhere. The question is, if you're burning now, do you think about going for a BKB just to avoid the mana burn? Because it almost doesn't matter what he builds. If he gets caught by Tornado EMP, he's going to lose. So the EMP burns 550. Mm-hmm. On top of that, it deals damage, which burns even more.
And there's the Necro Book.
And there's the Necro Book. So it's like he almost can't fight unless he can keep his mana up, and that's really unlikely.
Bernie might get caught out here. He's going to TP out, and it looks like it's just in the nick of time. Bone 7 swinging around to cut him off.
Very good
I guess
awareness.
the other way to look at it is that you just have to, maybe he feels he just has to have faith in his team. The last fight, ROTK had an excellent hook shot, blocked the Chen away so he couldn't send back the Lycan. They kill the Lycan twice, and then when the rest of the team tries to engage, it's the Bristleback of Xiao 8 who zones them out. So if he does get caught, you're definitely right that he won't be fighting, but does that put them too far behind in terms of economy if he tries to rush it right away? I guess that's the struggle for Burning to make that call.
Yeah, speaking of Bristle,
Solo taking a tower.
Does get the mid-tier 1, and
now he's
RTK
going
pushing
for top
top as well. This is where the Chen change really comes into play, because he can actually mount a defense while he's in the enemy jungle.
Can he against this Bristle? That's
no,
going to be a bit tough.
Definitely not. He's going to port out the creeps now, I think, or port them bottom, or he could go and try to defend and then Hand of God his creeps. He might have to do that now, as I think Xiao, yeah, there we go.
He will Hand of God, but nobody TPing yet. They're actually going to TP out Xiao 8 straight back to the base. They can see this push coming. They want to get in position. Ice could be in a dangerous position. Fada's invis. They're pinning him out. They want to go on that H apparition, but a bit out of range. Double Ice Vortex deployed. Trying to hold the line now. They're all back in the base in time. EMP Tornado going to crash onto Burning, and will end up burning all of his mana.
Oh my god.
How appropriate.
Yeah. Well, he does have bottle and stick, so he has some sort of mana influx as Fata. Wow, he was really thinking about that jump onto the Dusa. It is tempting. But of course, RTK with the Force Staff, if they don't take the Dusa down instantly, they can't just force her out.
There's also...
It looks like Ice Ice is indeed getting one as well.
Okay, so he goes for the Force Staff.
Yeah.
Good defensive item with the Medusa especially. She may end up being in the danger zone at times. They get the Blink Call and Burning to start this. Is this the area you want to go? And the War Trap comes out. Burning no managing to work his way out of it. He will end up dropping very quickly. At the same time, though, Xiaowei going pretty aggressively here. They get the hook shot now. They want to catch these heroes up, pushing Eternal Envy back, but no lockdown. The finger puts him into shadow range. Ends up dropping. They lose the Lycan, the Shadow Shaman as well. The Creep Army in jeopardy, but they did buy back on Burning, so it's a pretty expensive defense in that sense. Still a Lycan for a Dusa with a Dusa buyback, and they get the bonus kill. They now farm the wards as well. They did end up, I'm not sure if they denied the tower or just lost it, but either way, tower down now.
I think, yeah, they lost it to a Shadow Shaman ward attack.
And 9 HP, and they never got the deny off. Huh.
Still, though, one thing is the gold swing, but the experience, of course, also affected by the rubber band effect. So those extremely low-level supports, whenever they get involved in a fight like this, it's hard to imagine that this Lion was level 4 at minute 16, when at minute 28 he's level 10, almost 11. AA is level 11, that's a big level up for the stronger, of course, both shatter and impact damage. And then there's the mental aspect. Now Cloud9 has tried twice. They've tried with Aegis, they've tried without it. They failed both times. If they start doubting themselves and they stop playing as a unit as they have so far, and someone goes in and the others are a little bit hesitant, we really shouldn't go here, and then someone initiates, and if they don't work as one unit, they will ultimately lose this game. Because now we're somewhat getting into scary territory. It's the gold is still a 10k lead, but the experience is swinging back, the mental aspect, the fact that the Radiant lineup, I would say, gets more out of the relative net worth. They're going places now. Burning, sitting on 2.5k gold. What do you think he buys?
Burning, what does he buy this game? A pretty decent butterfly game. You're up against a lot of physical damage. BKB is still a very valid option for the reasons you mentioned earlier. Scotty, I guess it's between those three. Those two, or maybe an Eye of Scotty, just a little bit of everything. You get some extra HP, some extra mana. So even after the EMP, as well as the Necro Book, perhaps you still have a bit left in the tank.
Yeah, because we should remember in that last fight, he doesn't get Stone Gaze off. That makes it a lot harder for Cloud9. Even if they open on the Dusa and let's imagine he just gets Stone Gaze off but can't fight back at all, it stalls them. And they have to use so many abilities to even start the fight. They have to ensure that he loses all of his mana in the opening.
So what are the next big items for Cloud9? They are ultimately operating under a bit of a clock if they want to take a fight. Perhaps they can rat their way to victory. They get a Shiva's on the Axe.
Wow.
There's a lot of magic damage. This is not like a game-winning item, but it's still a good pickup. He is very farmed. Lycan, I imagine, works towards the Assault Cuirass. Maybe Eternal Envy has to consider a BKB at some point. And Shaman Ags. The Chen got his Ags recently. So I guess all of these items together could be enough to push them over the top. But there's no one item for C9 that feels like the game-winning item.
This was not the one we were guessing, was it?
No. Maelstrom we did not discuss.
Interesting.
It is good at wave clear. Oh, RTK almost getting munched to pieces.
That was really close. Okay, so I want to pitch you an idea that Cloud9 could have gone for, and I'm curious what you think. What if Axe would have gone for a Necrobook instead of Shiva's, and Invoker would have gone for a Necrobook instead of Hex?
Just to throw units at the buildings?
Triple Necrobook. The only counter on the Radiant is BKB'd Bristle. Do you think that could have worked?
Then if you're Burning, you definitely consider a BKB. Are they going to contest this Roshan? They are! Lanham goes in! He impales everyone, but the Aegis on the deck, it will go the way of the Lycan. They lose the Lion. They're going to lose a second here. The Ancient Apparition also falling. Now Tusa running the hell away. Stone Gaze, TP out ASAP. Oh my. That was a very bold Roche contest. They blow BKB charges. They give up 2 supports.
This is a lane of racks. That's...
Jeez. Stone Gaze. It's going to be tough to hold the line. I'm
really surprised that a Xiao-8-led team tries to go for that fight. They didn't have the clockwork there.
Yeah.
They're 4 on 5. They're way behind. They know they're way behind. Maybe that's what they think. They're like, okay, if they get to our base, we lose a lane of racks. Now they're going to lose a lane of racks and 2 heroes. So I don't know, unless they pull some sort of miracle defense, but they commit a Stone Gaze, and that's kind of their best defensive tool at this point. Axe goes in.
No. They get the initiation on Xiao-8 here. Does not have the BKB for 25. This mana burn is going to hurt unless they force staff him out. They do. Managing to keep him alive. Now he comes back in. RTK with the cogs pushing Eternal Envy back, keeping him a bit out of the fight. He tries to retreat, but the Impale is going to bring him down. Aegis popped again. BG holding the line without the Medusa ultimate. RTK may fall for this, but Xiao-8 gets into the backlines, being focused by Chen Creeps. C9, can they actually do do it. They're being forced back. Impale on 2. Is this happening all over again? Bone7 now popping the cheese, tries to run. He force steps up to the high ground. That might be where it ends, although Xiaowei is hungry for blood. He wants a bit more. He wants that tasty Invoker. Trying to drop the Ice Wall. Goo will come through. I don't think he can chase him at this point. And he will Ghost Walk out. Land him though. Blinks in, gets the Impale. What a sick play. He's got a Hex as well, but can they get the vision? They have more sentries.
They're not going.
Oh my. Every time you're like, okay, this is the time for Cloud9. Somehow, BG holds the line.
I feel like they're their worst enemy. That engage is just not necessary. They blink call one hero, they get themselves totally out of position, set up for a very easy Ice Blast. Dusa gets to stand in the backlines and fight like she wants. That's the type of situation where generally what you do is you put the Chen creeps, you put the Invoker, and you put the Lycan on the buildings. If BG initiate, you have an easy blink call for Axe. If they don't, they lose their barracks. And instead, you actually set up the fight for them. That was the initiation that Big God couldn't find. Cloud9 gave it to them.
You know, the item that really bailed that fight out for BG was, we were debating the Aged Apparitions item selection. Yeah, the Force Staff. Protects the Bristleback from the EMP. All the follow-up nukes don't really do anything, and it allows him to stay in the lane. Because if he has to walk back to the fountain, they lose the Rex. But with the Bristleback there, they don't, and... Well, BG, they seem to be at their best when C9's diving them too deep at the base. Now they catch RTK. He has a Force Staff. He's hexed up. He drops real fast to the physical damage. C9 get a kill.
Oh, Xiaowei.
Can they convert it? This would be a much bigger one. If they can find this Bristleback. They're swinging around like they want to go on him. Bone7 now has eyes on him. They have a blink call as well. If they can jump him before... Oh, they just got vision now with the Ghost Walk. It's too late for Xiaowei to react, though. He'll get EMP'd. Focus. Ice Blast coming in on 2. Now a Tornado as well. Xiaowei completely wrecked as all of C9 surround him and deal with him. He's down for a minute. Has the buyback. They're going to de-ward here. I don't even know if they force out the buyback, but the tier 2 mid may end up falling.
At the same time, though, we have Burning pushing out the bottom lane, getting some more farm. He's going places. He had the Maelstrom, what was that, 5 minutes ago? He has another 3.4k gold now. That's an effective 600-700 gold per minute he just claimed in the last few.
What is the item now? What do you think?
Really don't think Mjolnir is the choice here.
I feel like Scotty, Butterfly, BK... I'm very torn on the BKB.
He bought something. He bought a recipe for Mjolnir. He is going to go for it. Maybe that's the call. Put the Mjolnir on the Bristleback and have him just run in. And that's their initiation. Or he used it on himself before the fight breaks out or just to buy time. So if they initiate,
they're going to try to snipe the courier maybe, Bone7. Scouting with a tornado, not for the courier, but for a hero. Won't end up finding one. Yeah, maybe it is.
And let's think about this game. So this game is one thing, but it's a best of 3. If Cloud9 lose this game...
Shag Bark!
Oh no. Oh, no.
Nice snipe there by Eternal Envy.
If Cloud9 lose this game, I say they lose this series 2-0. This is the kind of game that's devastating to lose. And they've had everything they needed to make the push. They still haven't managed. Big God, however, if they lose this game, they're like, well, we also kind of got stumped early, so it was to be expected. We actually put up a really good fight, and they will have a way easier time resetting for the next game. So it's so important for Cloud9 to finish this one off.
Whereas I feel like for Big God, even if they lose, the way the laning stage developed, you're up against the Lycan Chen, Shadow Shaman. These things happen when you fall behind to this type of draft. So I agree with you that it's much more important for Cloud9 to win than BG in terms of mental reaction to this game. Yeah. But that said, at the same time, C9 a win here. They've got that 1 game advantage. Just need maybe a pocket strat. Maybe they bust out the Drow Visage, catch BG off guard. It's not a position BG want to be in. They have Mjolnir gold on Burning, but for now, it looks like he is saving for buyback, and without the courier, it's a bit tough to get out to the secret shop.
And this might be the point where you buy another item instead of the recipe and just drop the recipe in base. It's not that expensive. It's a 900 gold you've just lost, but you could still, for example, he could pick up an ultimate orb and still have buyback. He could look toward another next item if he wanted to, or just flat out just buys the BKB we talked about, which I also think would be nice, setting up into the Mjolnir. We'll see. He has the gold. He could also access the secret shop now as... Well, do they know? They have no vision. They don't know anything about where Cloud9 are. That's good. Cloud9 are.
You're falling apart, man.
It's over. All right. He's going to get his Mjolnir now.
I love this convoy to the secret shop. 4 heroes marching in together.
Doesn't. Okay. He misclicked it twice. And there we go.
Burning
He's going to show it off and force the Hand of God.
Yeah, these Chen creeps, it gets harder and harder to
Yes,
split
eggs
push now against the Mjolnir, but as long as he's quick on the eggs, yeah, he should be fine. C9 up by 20k gold. It's really tough to call. We've seen so many fights where they've only lost the Aegis and Eternal Envy. Maybe 2 heroes, but should they ever get caught where they lose 3, 4, or 5 heroes, that's not like a 2k gold swing. At that point, you're looking at like a 5, 6, 7k gold swing, and the game becomes very close to even. Despite C9 technically having a numerical advantage lineup-wise, very difficult to fight from there.
Yeah, and it's another thing is they still haven't taken 1 Rex. Like, 1 lane doesn't end the game anyway. So...
Oh, we really already 40 minutes in. Man, it's crept up on us a bit, but
Yeah.
Cloud9, the momentum just hasn't been there. They're getting...
Oh,
Xiaowei. He BKBs. He starts to run here. And they force out a BKB charge. They'll just back off.
Yeah, what's that down to? That's down to 6.
At
This is
this
a pretty
point,
big deal.
it stops mattering, I suppose.
Yeah, it's still just the fact that Cloud9 do have a Hex on Bone 7. So the moment Bristleback gets out of the Bristle or out of the BKB, they can start playing. Oh, Eternal Envy getting caught out completely in the middle of nowhere.
He has a BKB, but they finger quickly. He does start to walk away.
That's Invis as well.
No detection. They'll back off. An AC coming out for your axe.
Man, this axe, I keep saying it, but his items are just ridiculous.
Misery war trapping himself here, but it looks like it might work anyway. Xiaowei will get caught and finished off. Well, that was awkward. Meanwhile, at dunk mid, Cloud9 starting to find the pickoffs. There's a buyback on both heroes. Do they manage to slow roll their way in? Now the HF pressure. This could be the critical blow. 3 heroes down, and they haven't really committed anything.
There is buyback on Clock and Bristle, but that's really expensive. They don't want to have to use this. I think at this point you give a lane. Just kidding, you don't. He's gonna buy SNY and buyback. Okay. Okay, Xiaowei.
Huh.
Pulls all his money out the bank. Well, it's gonna stop them from pushing.
I thought he was going to go Halberd, to be honest. It's a pretty late SNY.
Yeah. I would agree. I don't think the SNY does enough at this point. The MAME is kind of negligible for how their strategy works. Sure, the armor and movement speed are good, but at the end of the day, these fights, he's going to stack up a lot of spells. And then his movement speed should be more than enough, and then it's all a matter of shutting down heroes, which they still don't have that good tools to do.
C9 claiming the Aegis once more, along with a cheese, and beginning to push out. They move through the Radiant Jungle, heading to the south. I guess it's this bottom lane. It's been a brick wall, but they're going to bang their head on it once more, hoping to bring down their first lane of Rax.
It's decision time for Burning. Do you buy out, or do you save money for buyback? He's saving all his money for now.
Is he strong enough?
You can't have 4 gold sitting on your Deucer right now. 4k. 4 gold you can.
What's the item for Burning? He's Butterfly seems like a pretty solid choice. Scotty's still decent. Is it Rapier territory yet?
I was about to say, I'm wondering if he just goes Rapier now. They have to be feeling this pressure. It's only getting worse. 25,000 gold lead for Cloud9. How much more of a lead do you need to push in and get a lane of Rax against this team? They just have everything they should need. It really speaks to how well Big God are playing this defensively. Most other teams at this point would have lost the game.
The only times where they've struggled are when they start getting aggressive. When they're turtling, BG have done a pretty good job of holding the line. They will force staff out that Bristle again, and also dodge a call. Now Xiaowei wants to walk in, but he is getting slowed down a lot by the Shiva's Guard. They commit a Hex to him as well. He continues to muscle forward, wants to kill off these Necrobook minions. He'll bring now one, the Mjolnir buff on him, doing a lot of work. Meanwhile, top lane though, Shadow Shaman is ratting. As Xiaowei will engage the big climactic team fight coming out. EE on the chase, trying to run down Lanham. Can he munch down that lion? He's committing a lot of resources to this kill. He'll get it, but meanwhile his backlines are being worked on. RTK hook shutting and trying to trap in that Lycan, but it's Misery in the top lane. He's finally done it, broken through one lane of Rex. Big Daddy on the TP out, everyone from Cloud9 scattering. And they've outmaneuvered BG a bit here. They get the Lion kill, they trade an axe, but they get that first much needed lane of Rax. That Bone 7 will just hang around to troll and harass Xiaowei a bit on the way out. It's not over by any means, but they've finally got that monkey off their back.
Yeah, this is of course this is the way they can do it if the single lane pushes aren't working. Because Big God, you talked about how good they are at picking off heroes at the split push situations, but this is not your classic split push situation. They're 25k gold ahead. They have the heroes they split push with are Shadow Shaman with Blink, who can just drop the wards and blink out, and Chen Creeps. There was like no commitment. And the Chen Creeps
the Shaman's building a Refresher Orb. At some point, he just drops 2 sets of wards with Chen Creeps, and Lycan throws his book and maybe his body at the Rex, and even if you kill it all, you're going to lose that lane of Rex. It's just too much damage.
Burning. It's time.
I think
he can buy whatever he wants.
He's definitely got to be considering the Rapier at this point.
Can he even buy an Abyssal? I think he can't. No, he's still a few hundred gold short.
The Abyssal do so.
That's the only thing he can buy. Dagon 5 and Abyssal.
The thing is, it seems at this point, Cloud9, we talked about it much earlier, like 20 minutes ago. If C9 ever get to a point where they can't fight BG 5v5 or where it's a riskier play, they can always rat. BG are a bit immobile.
He's building Scotty.
And he's going to go Scotty. And that's where, I mean, no matter what Burning builds, C9 may just not have to fight the Super Dusa. And the rest of the team can't really split push to force C9 back. So I guess at that point it comes down to ROTK. Can he get those big hook shots? He does have the eggs now. He's had it for a bit, so he's got some good long-range initiation.
It's pretty amazing to see Burning have the same net worth as the Axe at this point. He is so incredibly good at farming, regardless of game situation. He has managed to get 350 CS on a team that literally hasn't had any map control for 20 minutes, or 25. He is still close to 10 CS a minute. It's pretty amazing.
Creeps already being healed and sent back. Burning desperately wanting to collect some extra gold.
Look at the wolf! Oh! Almost boom.
You're going to make Weapus miss a kill, man. Relax.
Hey, I was almost making him spot a kill.
All right. All right. Well, BG...
The wolf is like the 6th hero of Cloud9.
Eh.
Alright, so what do you do now if you're Cloud9? Do you just go bottom, drop double Serpent Wards, and... Okay, Tornado MP.
They're going to go on Xiao 8. He gets Hex. Hookshot now coming out into Bone 7. The sendback was already used by Big Daddy. Will it be in time? Hand of God. Not enough, but the wards come out. That's number 1. Misery has the Refresher. Does he go for the double ward drop? He's maybe... just going to back off here. The ward's almost instantly cleaned up. He's swinging around. I think he's going to wrap all the way to the southern lane. If he can, even breaks into the Radiant, towards the Radiant well as BG continue to fight it out on the front lines. That Shaman just going to TP home in the end. Xiao 8 engaging. And now the Wolves going to back off together with Fada, but Xiao 8's on the chase. Slowly working onto that Axe and Lanham, threatening for a blink forward. He's waiting in the creep camp. They're going to hex him as well. Creeps are marching on the top side of the map. The Chen creeps are maybe looking for a bit of a rat play, but Fada just continues to get worked down. He has the cheese, but if this Ice Blast hits him, oh, it does. No chance to use it. Nice pick off there, a big one. And they hold the line. No lanes of Rex lost. I thought Misery would maybe worm his way around bottom and try to drop wards on the southern Rex, but he just ends up TPing out in the end.
Yeah, he also didn't use both. I thought he was just going to ward, refresh, ward instantly, but does he have the mana pool for it is the question. He needs 1200 plus... He has enough. That's his entire mana pool, though, and he needs full mana when he goes in. So maybe he was missing a little bit of mana, although he actually gets a bit of a buffer from the double Arcane Boots as well, so it should be fine, but...
It only takes 1 or 2 more fights like that. Look at these graphs.
They are 25... If they knew how much gold they were ahead, I think they would go on one lane and take it, but... They're feeling the pressure from Big God, and maybe, once again, more from themselves than anything, is that they look like a team without confidence in their strategy right now. I'm not saying it's bad to split push, because their lineup is really good at that too.
But they're not even committing to it.
They really shouldn't need it.
Uh-oh, Chen creeps in danger. He's going to throw out some stomps and try to bring them back, but they mostly all fall. Only the solitary Granite Golem there to survive, and they are, in the meantime, C9 looking for initiation. Land him, though. Getting off the initial Hex on the Bone 7. He has a Hex of his own, which will throw out the other way. Burning now, taking EMP damage. He may be forced back. They do take this Tier 1 soon, it looks like. Medusa Image is going in while Xiao 8 holds the line bottom. And C9 are being thwarted in their efforts to take just sneaky racks. They're going to have to commit more, it seems.
Do you remember when Burning bought the Scotty?
Oh, Xiao 8 getting caught out here. I'm not really sure. Oh, Abyssal Blade, everything being committed, even a Sunstrike.
Oh, no buyback.
90 seconds on the sideline, but they're running back to Roche, maybe. Are they going in?
He can't have respawned yet. If they know he doesn't have buyback, this is absolutely the go.
I think they have the double wards as well, even, for the Shaman.
Yeah, this is a lane of racks. If they could see there's no buyback, they just immediately rally on the lane and get them. But He just bought the Kira, so they might know it's the case, but looks like Cloud9 still playing it very passively. This is the mental game, right? They feel like, wow, okay, is it enough? Is it just going to buy back and turn on us? The last couple of pushes we haven't done too well. Let's play safe and get another Roche. And that's actually the worst play right here, is to not go.
Yeah, now you're Blink Chen. The rat items are ramping up. It seems that is the plan. Your Blink Test of Faith plays, your double ward drops.
You've kind of got to be worried if you're a Cloud9 fan, even going into the next game, because if they can't close out this game, it's not going to get easier than this. The next game, Misery might be on the receiving end here too. He's going to die.
Oh, doesn't even get close to the base. That means no chance to drop the double wards now, though. Everybody else forced to retreat. The Stone Gaze used as Burning tries to hold the line here, but he's very far back from the rest of C9. He can't get a quick kill, whereas C9 can. They bring down 2. Now they're looking for Burning. They get the Blink call. Definitely blast to disable him. He's losing a lot of mana. These Necro Books chased back. I don't know if they want to commit too much. That comes out now. C9 just want to turn a retreat, but a hook shot. Oh, the Wolves block him. It was the downfall of RTK's Roche counter gank attempt earlier, and it'll stop him in his tracks here as well. So they force a double buyback.
I still think this is pretty good for BG. Given the circumstances, they were 4 on 5. The Bristle can't buy back. And more important than anything, Burning doesn't need to buy back. It's not just that he loses gold from buying back, but it's that he can't farm afterwards. He has time to farm. He's going to get his Butterfly for the next fight.
There's no
I can't believe what I'm seeing. This game should have been over 20 minutes ago.
This is Burning's bread and butter, all right? Burning's like, this game's going to go another 50 minutes. I am going to have so many items that I could just start denying them in front of the opposition. I'll still be 6-slotted. Yeah, I think he's in his comfort zone. BG obviously not happy to be down to 25k gold, but you can tell that they still feel they have a good shot. They're not making ridiculously risky plays. Overall, they haven't been caught out too terribly much, and end of the day, C9 only have 1 lane of Rex. But it could end in an instant send. If someone dies back, if they just get the wards dropped and TPs get canceled, C9 can still win this game in a minute. But
might see BG going in. They know Fata's top, but he should have Boots of Travel ready, I do believe. Yeah, 15 seconds.
Yeah, they see Xiao 8. Land him to here, you really would want to go on here, though.
Yep. Shadow Shaman now with a cheese. He's definitely not going to have mana issues. Xiao 8, he wants them to go on him. You can just tell. And he's like, oh wait, I actually don't want that to happen.
syndereN said that I want them to go on me, therefore I'd better back real quick.
Caster's Curse.
Yeah.
Bone 7, trying to get an angle. There is a gem on Lana.
This is a really awkward position to be caught in. EMP Tornado coming out. Hitting on Burning, he'll be 4 step back. They really want to retreat as the TP comes in from Fata. They go on to Xiao it immediately. He doesn't get off his BKB. Stonegate's coming out though. C9 could get trapped here. Eternal Envy taking a decent amount of arrow damage, but able to just stand his ground. BKB not good enough. Fata will fall. The rest of BG healthy. EE chasing onward, but he can't commit to a target now. He's going to be frozen. They 4-staff him, but it's not far enough back. Burning, working his way through the creep wave, and the rat is commencing. Wards being dropped, but quickly cleaned up. Misery will die. They've lost the Axe. They've lost the Shadow Shaman. Burning just won't fall. Eternal Envy gonna lose the Aegis. BG hang on again. It's another Aegis. How many more does C9 need? They just can't break this base. Now the Hex. If they have it Impale, he's donezo. Eternal Envy trying to run. Do they get the send back or anything to keep him alive? Hookshot coming out. Big Daddy can't save him. He's conked back. We've seen this movie before. C9 does not like how it ends. They still haven't taken any objectives. Just creeps pushing through the buffer building stop. Synd, it's starting to have that feel that C9 just might not have what it takes to break this base.
I want to see this updated graph. They got, what was that? They got, did Bone 7 get out? Yeah, he did. So they got 3 kills in that. And that might not sound like the biggest of deals. When you're 25k behind, this is so much gold they're getting. Burning.
They have like, not the perfect lineup, but they have a very good lineup to win from this position on paper.
Yeah.
Because you just drop the wards, you throw the book at them, you charge in with Chen creeps, he could even blink in and just bring his creeps with him, and you could just throw bodies at buildings, but they can't seem to get to the base.
They forced the glyph, though. That's the thing. So now if they... Oh, my God. Bone 7.
Mid lane getting caught out. This is a big pick. The gem looks like it will go down. It will. Now a hook shot from RTK. Pushing out the creep wave. In fact, they may be able to force out a buyback here on that Evoker if they want. They're going to push right down mid. Butterfly claimed by the raid boss. Medusa now getting to that point.
He has
that one kill. That, right? Oh, my. So much gold in their pockets.
He got Boots of Travel, too.
Yes. And he has buyback, apparently. Xiao 8 also sitting on it. Buybacks are decent here for the Radiant squad. They're going to clear out the wave, and C9 maybe forced to use their Invoker buyback. In fact, BG, they've pushed out the top lane. They're going to go for high ground. 51 minutes in, they're leaving the base. They're getting aggressive. C9 the ones forced to play defense. They'll glyph. But this Bristleback starts to hit quite hard. It won't be long before the tier 3 falls. Do C9 buy back on the Invoker? Do they look to defend? Xiao8 constantly spamming the quills. The tower down, Invoker buys back. Do they run? Or do they feel confident enough to stand their ground? They have the BOT buyback on Bernie. Hex to start onto Xiao8. EMP coming out. He'll try to scatter. They force staff him again, so the Mana Burn will hit him. And now they go back in on Fada. Well, they be able to bring Fada down. A good Deafening Blast keeps Burning from fighting, but Omanta, and wait for this dead. Now the Stogaze as Eternal Envy engages. They've lost only an Ancient Apparition. The wards were dropped offensively. That means they can't be used to break the space, and Eternal Envy will fall once more. He has a buyback. 90 seconds on the sidelines. BG not backing down from this push. Xiao8 will, for the time being, stay alive. He dies now, has a buyback if he wants to use it. Burning left alone for the time being. They're not using that Bristle buyback, and he fights his way through it. Now he will, but he's surrounded and getting focused very heavily. Burning's overextended. There's your chop from C9. They get the counter kill. Medusa dead for 110 seconds. And may actually have to blow the buyback as well. Now C9, do they push right back down mid? They don't have a Lycan buyback. They don't have an Invoker buyback. The only heroes who do are Chen and Axe for the Dire, Medusa and Ancient Apparition for the Radiant.
I'm starting to wonder if Cloud9 can even win the head-on fight anymore. Like, they've just lost. Look at those graphs, how much they've lost. That is scary. Dusa will have to buy back for this, and Burning will ultimately do it. There's no way in hell Cloud9 don't force that buyback out. But if they lose this fight, Lycan is on the sidelines for 100 seconds, Invoker the same pretty much. They could be losing racks themselves. They have their tier 1s in the side still. They almost lost racks
They
mid.
really want to force this Dusa buyback. They go into Shout, but he gets off a BKB. Again, the timely force staff plays. RTK taking a lot of damage. He tries to hook, but that won't save him. Immediately, Eternal Envy running away to the top lane as the wards are dropped and quickly cleaned up. Tier 3 Folly, they do manage to force the Dusa to buy back, but still, somehow, this bottom lane of Rex that was exposed at, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
It stands. Oh my goodness. Still C9, they're just so close.
At the very least, Misery hit the range tracks with the Serpent Ward, so they're not
at least
regenning.
it's not regenning.
So we have progress right here. This is progress.
This is very slow progress.
Okay, so another thing we haven't talked about. We're focusing on the Dusa a lot, because this is your classic late-game Dusa game, but the other heroes are getting things. Lion could buy an Ethereal Blade and 200 gold, which is another way for them to keep Dusa alive. Bristleback Basher has had that for a little bit. Might be seeing an Abyssal come out at some point, not too far down the road.
I think he's at the point where he can actually take the Lycan 1v1, the Bristle.
Yeah.
Eternal Envy's not going to be able to fight him. And it doesn't seem he can really fight the Dusa either.
And Burning will be getting another tower. Progress going the other way. He got 322 gold for that tower, by the way. Just want to point that out. Some people might find that funny. I myself have a light chuckle. Sensible chuckle.
A little yuck yuck.
Oh, Burning. This is risky. Okay, he is going to pull out. And the illusion.
There's nothing sensible about this game, by the way. This is insanity.
There's one wolf in the Radiant base. It's almost like they want a BOT on it.
This is where Cloud9 have to dig deep. They won that crucial match versus LGD with some serious rat Dota. They could go for some BOT plays, drop the double wards, drop the Lycan book, and just try and force their way onto Arax. But, you know, the one thing I will say for BG is they know what Cloud9 want to do this game. Because every time Cloud9 try to go for those split push plays, BG are taking fights outside of the base. The Lion's jumping the Shadow Shaman mid, we saw that earlier. ROTK is going for deep hook shots. Even if occasionally they lose a hero or two, they don't let Cloud9 get on top of structures with the whole complement, the menagerie of units and wards and stuff to throw their way. So they do understand this Cloud9 game plan very well.
Look at Burning. This is such a mind game. It's not working, though.
Is it a mind game? He's getting called for now. Wards trapping and surrounding him. He still gazes. He's killing them all quickly. They're going to lose Misery. He has run out of mana, though. They need a way to keep Burning safe. This could end up going disastrously. The dunk attempted. It's not going to succeed, but they get the kill on the Medusa. Cloud9 are fighting head-on, though. They're not looking for any sort of backdoor play. They TP and Fada immediately while Xiao8 dives. Can he do it? Basically solo. He gets called. He's being focused for now. The Ice Wall dropped to try and prevent him from retreating. Have BG just start to throw away this lead. The Deuce on the sidelines for 100 seconds. No buyback available. Gem hitting the deck. BG. This could be a crucial mistake that cost them heavily. Xiao8 now caught out by Fada. The blink call comes through. Land him, trying to impale and retreat. but Fada will get onto him. Throw out the Battle Hunger on Xiao 8, and they try to run him down too. Bone 7 and Ice Ice duke it out. Xiao 8 still scattering backwards. Lanham going in for a big play. The Ice Blast gonna end him. Invoker on the sidelines for 90. Another Impale from Lanham. He's stalling beautifully here on the little Lion that could, but they have no Bristle for 100. No Dusa for 60. BG, now the back's against the wall. They'll drop the cogs, everything in their power to slow down this oncoming push. But Creeps have breached the top. They'll have to defend that. EE is getting ready to push in. This might be 2, if not 3 lanes of Rex.
Lion has level 3 Finger ready. They have Ice Blast again soon. That could kill off the Axe, just those 2 abilities alone.
He's got 1,800, 1,600 health here, actually. Standing strong in the front lines is the Golem. You can tell C9 don't want to go in. He's going to get caught. He BKBs quickly. Now they have to back off. They turn their attention towards Fada, but not the best focus fire coming out from BG. They when he BKB dodges the finger. Oh, this could be bad. RTK dead. He has a buyback. Dusa up at 20. They got to take objectives, but there's a glyph. C9. Nothing comes easy for them this game. The TP out right now. Misery blinking back. Does he have any wards to bring to bear? It doesn't look like it right now. Not dropping anything. Another hook shot. RTK stalling for all he's worth. The Turtle Envy now trying to finish off a melee Rex. Courier dropping to the midst of this, while Misery will begin the rat mid. He doesn't have mana for the second set of wards. He will soon, but he uses a nuke instead, so now it's just the one set. But they're about to get mega. Now C9 just need to get the hell out. A Turtle Envy in shatter range, nearly blink forward. They'll bring him down. He doesn't have buyback. 2 minutes on the sideline. Can C9 hang on until a Turtle Envy respawns? There's only the one ranged Rex. Oh my, Send. Oh my. We've got a ball game now.
All right, bonus question. When C9 get megas, can they end the game?
For extra credit, the answer is, who the hell knows? This game has gotten insane.
Burning has 6k gold. This could be the call to sell
the
Morbid Mask and buy a Rapier. That would...
I don't feel like he's going to win a fight just by standing there forever and being invincible. It really seems like he needs to get kills quicker in these fights.
I would totally agree with selling the Morbid Mask and buying a Rapier here and just trying to go down mid. He's currently split pushing top as he has the Boots of Travel available. Even if Misery blinks in mid and gets the second set of wards down.
They're going to BOT and birdie mid. It looks like they're going for it. Eternal
He's going to go.
Oh, Rapier time. Here we go. The last time he did it, it was a miracle for PG. It could be the play again.
Was that Vici Gaming? I can't remember.
I can't remember. We'll talk about it later. For now, it's Melee Rex being focused, burning, dodging away from a tornado. Doesn't want to get hit by the CMP, but meanwhile, it's Misery in through the top lane. He's going to try to mega them. Maybe he should be going Throne, though, because that's where BG seem to be focused. Killing off, for now, a few summons, and going directly for tier 4s. Can they do this fast enough? They're TP'd to the Ched. He's going to bring in the creeps. This one goes down to the wire. BG, all or nothing on the Throne.
Oh my God,
the glyph coming out for the Dire. They hold the line for now, as meanwhile, the Radiant Throne starting to be in trouble. The Dire Throne drops low. It's almost dead. Can they get it in time? Does C9 have this? No! BG! What an incredible turn of events. And now C9, their confidence has to be crumbling. Oh my. What a way to lose. Well, Sin, you said if they lost like that, it'd be 2-0 for BG. If anything would break your confidence and your will, it has to be a loss like this. He's speechless. You just looked at me, and you're like, I should have something to say here. You got nothing. We got nothing.
I don't know. Okay, so I think... So 2 things I want to say. Big God might be the absolute best defensive team in the tournament based off of that. We haven't seen Secret or Vici Gaming in a similar position. We've seen LGD in one where they pulled it back, but like the defensive play of Big God in this game is absolutely amazing. But oh my God, the mistakes with that lead. They had so much of a buffer. They had literally 30 minutes to win the game, or even more. They in theory they can't lose that game unless they start making mistakes. But not only do they make mistakes, you can tell they're losing confidence in their strategy. It just seemed like, you know, to give an example, that's a game that Secret wins at minute 30 at the latest. They play their strategy and they end the game, and they know what they're up against and what the risks are. Cloud9, they are not going to go into the next game with confidence, that's for sure. That's got to feel absolute shit.
And this is a team that has some very emotional players.
Yes.
And in a situation like this, it's tough not to tilt. Are they going to tilt? Are they going to bounce back? For the answers to those questions, if anyone's going to have them, it should probably be our analysts. Guys,
Are you sure
take it
they
away.
have an idea about this? I don't.
Or not.
Take it away.
Call me. What a game.
Disgusting
Incredible.
to watch.
You know, it was very clear here which people were cheering for Big God and which people were cheering for Cloud9. Because we were like, oh no, it's okay, Bernie has buyback. And I was like, oh no, it's fine, Bernie can't buyback for it was very, very heated, I would say. So what do you think? Sounds fun?
2 base races in a row for Cloud9. It's lucky they're in good shape, because if it was me, I would have a heart attack by now. The question is, do they go on tilt like LD and syndereN were saying, or do they have any composure? Like, can they find their composure for the next game? It could just be a complete stomp, right? Is that what everybody's thinking?
Yeah,
it could
Right
be.
now?
It's hard to say. Jackie Mao, very emotional player. This team in general, I feel like this emotion's going to be running high after that series, and especially considering it was their game to lose. It's not like they were the ones really close to coming back. They played it perfectly and almost made it back. It was like they were ahead, made a few very costly mistakes, it felt like.
Okay. Winter. We were talking before, like, we came here as the game was finishing. There was a moment
In the game.
where
Yeah.
things started turning around. What was it?
Minute 22 when
3:22?
not 3. They could have at that point of the game, they had Necro Tree on Envy. He just got a Necro Tree. They got Aegis. They were pushing bottom high ground, and Misery made
Why
a
do I have my hair all
Misery made a
crazy?
blink, and you were talking. Bruno was mentioning that the blink it was like weird because he blinked on the low ground at the tier 3 at bottom, and he placed the wards before his team arrived. Which
Right.
I guess he was worried. The main thing I felt in his position, he was worried that he gets, like we were discussing, that if Big God makes a successful base defense, they would have to catch the Shaman before he places the wards with the clockwork. So he was clearly, he didn't want it to happen, so he went in first, but it was so early that his team was like still lagging behind. And ideally you want the X obviously to go first before you actually go in and place your wards. So the distraction would be on the X and your wards will be protected. But because he went in so early, half of the wards were already gone when they were taking a team fight. And it actually resulted that they actually gave away a good base defense to Big God, which I personally felt at 22 minutes when they were actually going for that push, they were in such a comfortable position. And they could have even had an X on Misery if he actually didn't go for the blink, which I felt you can't really say it's wrong to get the blink, because if you get a gank on the Medusa with the blink, you automatically it's paid off, it's worth it if you get a kill. But he didn't get a kill, and I felt that if he would actually have the X at 22 or 23 minutes at that point in the game with the Necro Tree, with the Aegis on the Lycan, it could have been a push that makes a hole on their base.
Here's the thing, just in economic damage, the fact of taking racks means that one lane of creeps is going to be mega creeps, or super creeps as they're called now. And that means about between 100 and 150 gold per wave, less every time. If you take into account that there's 2 waves per minute, that is somehow around 250 GPM that you are denying your opponent.
It was at 22, 23 minutes they could have actually got a Rex down. That is actually very crucial for their lineup to actually accomplish.
Right.
Everyone was like, oh god, it's Medusa late game. Oh my god, Medusa plus Bristleback, how are they going to go out? And that was actually the biggest problem. And the itemization on Burning was perfect. The Mjolnir and the static charge on the Bristleback or himself is just completely deterring the push from C9.
Do you want to single out Gods any player from any side, either because they played particularly well or particularly poorly?
Oh, I'm always one to fire shots here. I think. I mean, I don't think you can really single out anyone on Cloud9. I think there was just like it was more the team. It was the team decision making more than anything. So it's hard to like isolate one player. I mean, I think the push that Winter was talking about, I remember saying, oh, like Fata should maybe be more aggressive, blinking to the high ground there, but Misery also rushed things. So it was always going to be like the team decision making just wasn't in sync with one another. On the Big God side, I think Zhao 8 on the Bristleback was, to me, what kept them in the game for the longest time. I mean, I think the pick was a very... Yeah, Lamb also had some really clutch plays. Considering Lamb's lack of farm, he's a Lion, which is not a hero good against push strats. He did so much in all those fights. So I think the Bristleback pick and play from Zhao was fantastic, and then Lamb on the line also.
Newbie must be face palming right now. We let go the player that is doing very, very well, and without him, we are not doing anything. We're going to go into a break now, guys, and when we come back, we get game 2 of C9 versus Big God. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. But in the meantime, hopefully we can get the C9 intro, because we couldn't get that as they were doing the intro. The game just started, so as we go into a break, we might see a little bit of the Chinese stream. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.